All right, guys, what I like about this type of exercise is all you have to do is take a bunch of numbers and invite them into a standard formula. We're looking for the sum to 7 terms. In other words, we have a geometric series right here, and we're going to sum 7 individual terms all together and come up with what that is. So sum little subscript 7 is what we're after. Now, the first thing we want to do is identify and find, gather and discover what we have. The clues are in the question. What do we have? Well, the first thing we have is the first term. So let's start to write that up. The first term right there, A equals 96. Now we want to find that common ratio. That common ratio is a constant number that multiplies to produce and form each successive term. So that's going to equal, as we can see here from this formula, R, the common ratio, equals the second term divided by the first, which is the same as the third term divided by the second term. So let's have a look here. Let's go for this term here. That'll be 48, the second term over the first term, which is the same as the third term over the second term, 48. Now that's going to yield a value of R, the common ratio, equal 1/2. Now we have these two components. Is there anything else that we have? Well, we are asked to find for 7 terms, so we know what n is. So n equals 7. What don't we have? Well, we don't have s to the 7. So that's our question mark. That's what we're going to zero in. That's our outcome. So let's go for that. So now all we have to do is take these elements and put them into this formula. Now, you may be wondering, sometimes this formula for a geometric series has a 1 minus the common ratio, and other times the common ratio minus 1. Why do we use one over the other? But first, let me tell you, you can use any one. It's just that sometimes one formula is more calculator friendly than the other one. For this particular instance, we use this because look at our common ratio. Our common ratio is 1/2, which means it's less than 1, meaning that it's going to be 1 minus 1/2 is easier to work with than the other way around. So that's the right formula for this. But as I said before, you can use any one. They both work just as well. Okay, let's start to plunk in those numbers there so we can find what the sum of 7 terms are. So, sum to 7 equals, what do we have? Well, we have A, the first value, and that's going to be 96. 96, and we have 1 minus r to the n. So that'll be 1 minus 1/2. 1 minus 1/2. Let's put that in bracket, and that's to the power of n. And close bracket. All over 1 minus 1/2. Okay, so we got that part over there. Now, I can fill in that n right now, so I'll just rub it out because that's our n value, just so we see what that is, and that'll be replaced with 7. There's our value of 7 there. There's our 7. There's our little subscript there. Again, let's continue to simplify this. Now, sum to 7 will equal 96. And then we have 1 minus. Now, let's have a look at that 1/2 there. Now, a half, I could take that half and go write it just down here, 1 over 2 to the power of 7, like that. And that's going to equal in your calculator 1 over 128, like that. So let's put that over here. 1 over 128, close brackets, all over 1 minus 1/2, that'll give us 1/2. So let's start to continue simplifying. The sum to 7 terms equals, so what do we got here? We got 96 times 1 minus 1 over 128 on your calculator will yield a very simple fraction. Big numbers, but it's simple. 127 all over 128, close bracket, all over 1/2, like that. Let's continue with this with a half here. So what I'm going to do here is divide the half into the 96. That's going to give us a value of, what is that going to give us? Well, let's bring it up here, right over there. Give ourselves some room. So that's going to be 96 divided by 1/2 is going to be 192. So let me just write it here, 192. So S little 7 equals, let me just give some space here. Okay, we have 96 divided by 1/2, 192. 192 times 127 on 128. Like that. That's going to be, yep, like that. Let's simplify. So the sum to 7 terms equals, multiplying that by that will give us a value of 381 all over 2 on your calculator. We can simplify that. So the sum will be, it won't be a whole integer, it'll be the sum to 7 equals, so if we take these terms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 terms, add them all together, it'll give us the value of, in total, the grand total, the sum being 190.5. There you go.